Rest in peace, Macho Man.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have problems. Repeat, we have a problem. We have a problem in LA. We have a problem in New York. There's no way to sugarcoat this. There's no other way to dance around. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a problem. Welcome, everybody, to episode 223 of the Sports Drive. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a surprise, ladies and gentlemen. This young man has just got hinged. He got the ring on the finger. He said the I do's. He's been off for a while, but is the return of the Snowman, Brian Snow. Go ahead, Snowman, speak.
I begin with the following statement. Fuck the NBA and all its constituents. Period.
Yeah, I don't like this free agency crap.
The NBA sucks.
Well, dude,
Fuck
this
the
free
NBA.
agency's getting out of control, dude.
Fuck the NBA and all its constituents, because look, the free agency is not the only reason I can't stand the NBA anymore.
What's the other?
It's not the only reason. They're actually looking into shortening the NBA season.
Woohoo! Less NBA games. Woohoo!
How about this? How about
big time?
How about this? It's not a bunch of sissies in the NBA. It's okay for the 90s players to do an 82 game schedule, but now, Kawhi needs a couple days off. Maybe he can't play all the primetime games. Like, come on. Hell, hockey players do all 82. You don't see them bitching, right, Frank?
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to pull up the chat box here on my YouTube app because we're supposed to have Browning, but he has Meek Mill headphones, and like I said, if you're getting headphones from produce stores and stuff, it's just not good.
Wait a minute, produce stores? Wait, do you know that for a fact? Do he buys from a produce store?
No, I'm saying in general because this happened to me when I first started doing podcasting.
Okay, or Dollar General. Listen, you don't want to go to Dollar General and buy headphones there. Trust me.
I'm surprised they actually sell dollar headphones.
They do. They honestly do. I bought them once and they were bad.
Yeah, go figure, right?
I'm not kidding. I don't think this was back in the 90s when it was a dollar bill store. Trust me, you don't want to buy stuff at Dollar General unless it's candy.
Well, the more of my story was that, hey, look, like at the end of the day, like if you're gonna do this type of stuff, you need headphones to hear on both sides of these things, you know.
You know what? Look, I gotta tell you this. I had a friend back when I was in high school, that literally did his Christmas shopping at the dollar bill store every year. I went once.
And then?
I'm not kidding. This guy actually bought his Christmas gifts back at the dollar bill store. I can tell you because I went with him, dude. This was back around the 1998, 99.
All right. Before we get started with the rest of today's festivities, today's going to be a little bit of a Chicago sports themed show than we usually do.
Bears!
Bears training camp will start in late July. July 27th, I think, is the first day of practice, right, Frank?
Sounds about right. I don't know when, but sounds about right. They have a report day, and then they have mandatory workouts.
Do you like that they practice at a college instead of having their own place to practice?
Yeah, I like it. I gotta say this quickly. My grandparents used to live in Bourbonnais, which was right up the street, literally from Olivet Nazarene. I like it. It's accessible to the public. You need to have a dormitory space for everybody trying to make the roster. Some guys are going to get cut. I like it. It's a great idea.
Right.
That's great. Olivet Nazarene's done a fine job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's. I'm very excited for the football season. It's. What was that, Frank? You cut off.
Yeah, especially since the Bears are a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's do the intro, shall we? And then
what? Wait! Could you hear the boy hump?
Yeah, finally, I had to restart it.
Nah. Go figure. All right, here we go. Let's do the intro, shall we?
Sure.
Yeah.
What?
And we have breaking news to talk about in a couple of minutes as well.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, let me know when we're gonna have the breaking news so I can go into the people that beat me and all that stuff.
Oh God! Before I do the intros, let's do this really quick. Oh, hey, Junie, how you doing?
Oh yeah! Oh my goodness, Stanley! Oh my goodness, I dread the summer as it is. No, Sally, it's bad. Did you know my kids want me to take them to the water park? They wanted me to take them to the zoo. Oh my goodness! And then they're gonna want me to take them to Six Flags Great America. Oh my! Before you know it, my bank account is going to be completely dry, and I'm going to be broken pork and have to eat my government cheese.
Government cheese, yeah.
Which stands for AKA welfare.
Yeah.
That's what government cheese is a slang for, welfare.
All right, let's do the intros. First off, introducing from Blue Bumblebee, Kentucky. This young man is a long-lost cousin of Kenny Bolin and Jim Cornette. This young man is the bowling master of the Sports Drive, contrary to popular belief, due to one person in the Pacific Northwest. Here is Baron Corbin's number one fan, the Browning Master, Andrew Browning.
That's it. Baron Corbin only has one fan. That shows his career's gone down.
Hey, I'm a Baron Corbin fan.
I never heard of him, but
what?
It's one of them guys. It's gonna be a good shout out to my boy Chunky to the South Train himself.
What up, Chunky Cheese? Smooth.
What up, Chuck E. Cheese?
There we go.
Yeah, why is that voice? That voice would work well on tampon commercials.
Oh.
It really would, dude.
You know, it's funny. Snowman was on here a couple of minutes ago, but like one time, one of his ex girlfriends were like, "Oh, Josh, you would have a good voice for being one of those sex like phone operators."
Wait, really?
Like seriously? I know my voice is not like super loud or obnoxious, but I didn't think it was smooth enough to be a sex phone operator.
Wait, are you talking about the Lust Line?
Yes.
Because you know I've got the Lust Line. Listen, one of my favorite shows of all time is Married with Children, episodes 1988 to 1996, and Hal had the phone bill, and he was like, "Okay, who called the Lust Line?" He said, and sure enough, it was Bud, who arguably was the most perverted person on that show.
Right.
Who called the Lust Line?
Brian, I got a question for you. How was the Ludacris concert?
It was awesome. Me and my friends had a good time that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Waka
Flocka was there too.
Oh boy, he's still around?
Yeah. Really? I thought he died.
Waka Flocka Flame.
Wait, it's
and
amazing.
threw water to the crowd that night.
It's amazing
it was pretty awesome.
Amazing who's alive and
who. Speaking of Flame, did you hear about the idiot that put himself on fire by the White House and burned to death?
Wait a minute, was that a few weeks ago?
Yeah, the Burning Man.
Why did he do that? Yeah, well, obviously we're not going to know a motive. He's dead.
I don't understand it. Like, there's a wrestling podcast I listen to called Keeping It 100 with Conan and Disco Inferno. And they have this thing called the Disco List, and they put people that annoy Disco Inferno on the list, obviously, right? And
Disco Inferno, he was in WCW.
Yeah, and one of the worst wrestlers of all time.
Yeah, I'll agree here.
Anyways, he brought up this guy that went to some music festival and was on methanol and all this extra shit, and decided to put himself on fire and run through the crowd on fire and burn himself to death. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Why you gonna put yourself on fire in the first place?
Well, they do that. You should see what they've done in Japanese wrestling.
Yeah.
I mean, really, they basically Japanese wrestling.
Let me put thumbtacks in a staple gun and shoot thumbtacks in my forehead.
Dude, like I said, dude, you think ECW is extreme? What they do in Japan goes about 10 levels higher than ECW. No joke.
Didn't you say that Japan death matches makes ECW look like Disney?
Absolutely. You better believe it. It makes it look like Disney, Sesame Street, Captain Kangaroo, all of that.
Oh, God.
I'm not kidding. Come see these matches. Go on YouTube, see these matches. You'll know what I'm talking about.
Captain Kangaroo, that's a blast from the past. Holy shit. What about the Magic School Bus show?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that show.
All right, Jimmy Neutron.
Jimmy Neutron. That rings a bell back in the day.
Yeah. All right, introducing next from Blue Bowlby, Indiana, but a product of the state of Illinois. This young man is the James Hetfield of the Sports Drive. He's a Chicago Cub fan with respect to the White Sox. Yep. He is a Bears, Bulls, and Blackhawks fan, and he is the Gale Force with himself. Don't forget, he didn't tell us, but he was secretly in Miami getting ready for those political debates that are going on, and get the Lex Express all oiled up and get all that gas in there. Here he is, the big bag of wind himself, Frank Sprinkle.
Yeah, but I'm not pulling up. I'm not a Democrat. Remember that. I'm not.
Just because you're not a Democrat doesn't mean you're not down there getting the Lex Express ready.
That's true. Oh, yeah. Hey, you know what? Do you think Brill? I doubt J Hill went to the debates.
J.
I doubt J Hill was in Miami. I doubt he went to any of the debates. He just doesn't seem like that type of person.
No, I don't think Justin's into politics.
Yeah, that's my point. Yeah. Although I think J Hill might have some more intelligence than some of these candidates.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll say this though, and I feel like I'm in a good position because me personally, I'm not a Democrat or Republican. I'm independent. Both of those parties can go screw themselves as far as I'm concerned. They have no knowledge of common sense. They try to go through every part of life with an agenda behind it. Like, why is it so hard to just be upfront with what you want to do and how you feel about things instead of just dancing around and putting window dressing because you want to fit a certain mold or a certain party? I don't understand that about life. I really don't.
Oh, I do. And here's my take on it. People in the United States of America, well, not everybody, but a good number of people are stupid. They'll listen to this candidate, be brainwashed, and then they'll vote for the candidate. And you know what? They won't get anything in return. So to that effect, America, you get what you deserve.
Right.
That's how I see it.
And then?
Let's see what's next. Frank, go ahead, bring me in.
Oh, yeah, right, Howard Finkel. The following intro is scheduled for anything but football, and it is not so phenomenal. Love it, you probably. Introducing a guy who wreaked all sorts of havoc over Orlando, FLA. He is the glowy hump, Josh Lopez.
Here.
Shut up, dude, please.
Why?
Man, it's been a rough couple weeks for the Walmart boy. The Bruins choked at the TD Garden again in the Stanley Cup final. The Red Sox. You know what's funny? I had to download the show, and this is tremendous. I actually heard Sean on WEEI yesterday.
Oh my goodness!
I actually heard of all into the show. I wish I had the audio. I could pull it up while you guys talk. But
when was this? So I got two questions. One, when was this? Two, what was the reason why he was on WEEI?
He was on the Boston Red Sox post-game show on WEEI.
Was this yesterday?
Yeah, 93.7 in Boston, if you guys want to go listen to that station. Anyways,
oh boy.
Did 911 have to be called?
But here's the thing, he was in that segment, you know, like in radio, they'll do like really fast cars in each call.
Right. There's a term for it, I forgot.
Yeah, it has like 15 seconds for each caller, right?
Right.
And Sean's like, screw you, Matt Barnes, and the bullpen's a problem, and he was not happy, especially with Jose Abreu hitting a 2-run homer over the monster.
Let me ask you, did they have to cut him off after 15 seconds?
No, they were fine.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And he didn't sound like he needed tampons. So.
Well, unfortunately, he needs Boston sports to play. I mean, really, he should be thinking about waterfall and not Boston sports. Well, never mind.
Yeah.
After all, recall what he said. He likes Patriot strudel.
Yeah. Hey, sometimes you probably will never have waterfall.
I don't see a guy like that ever getting waterfall. Honestly,
I'm talking about myself, but
glowing up, you're cool. No, glowing up, that's different. I mean, you're a guy. You're that type of guy. I just don't see Shawnee Boy getting waterfall. Honestly.
All right,
you're fine with the waterfall. Glowing up, I think you're fine.
All right, let's do the Shane McMahon intro, shall we?
Oh boy.
Oh yes.
Introducing the best in the world, Shane McMahon.
It never gets old.
It's awesome. I don't care what any wrestling fans saying about Shane McMahon right now. That intro is fucking awesome.
Never gets old, Glory Hump. Never gets old.
And then
what?
All right. We had some breaking news. I'm gonna say the wrestling breaking news towards the end of the show today.
False start.
We will not have the Skippy Bash Hour today. I have no quotes for y'all, unfortunately.
Good. Hey, you know what? We don't need it, dude. We don't. I mean, really, we one thing about us, we keep the show sane as it is.
And then
what? Hey, where are we going, kid? I can't hear you, dude.
No, I'm sending out an email. I'm sorry.
Sending out emails.
All right.
I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
All right, here we go. Let's start off with some Chicago sports conversation, right?
Sure, absolutely.
It'll be a mixture of our opening rants. So,
all right.
Nice.
Frank, I know you said you had an opening rant you wanted to do today, so you will go first.
Right now, we talking about Chicago or non-related?
Anything you want.
Okay, can I start non-related? I've been dying to get this off.
Go ahead.
Okay. Have you guys ever gone on YouTube, or in this case, Twitter, just for the purpose, I'm here for the comments?
No.
Okay, I'm like that. And Gluey Hump, you're going to love this one. Guess who's on Twitter now?
Is this a Chicago sports figure?
It's a sports figure, but it is not a Chicago sports figure.
Oh, I talked about this on the wrestling podcast this week. No, not this week. Last week before I went to Florida. OJ.
Yes. Yes. The real OJ. I am following on Twitter the real OJ 32. And I mean, well, let me give an example here. He tweets video, brief, like a couple minutes, it seems, on average. He lives in Las Vegas. He's either on a golf course in a golf cart or he's at home, and he tweets videos on what he thinks. For instance, he was watching the debate last night, the Democratic debate, and he was talking about it for about 30 seconds from his home. And I got to say, anytime he tweets about anything, there's always comments about the gloves.
Oh, God.
There's always comments typically about him. Most of the comments here are typically about the clubs. So let me just say this. If I'm having a bad day, and we all have bad days in life, I can just go to Twitter, the real OJ32, and that will brighten my day up.
Right. I said this on the podcast last week. You know Twitter is a shithole when OJ Simpson is allowed to have a Twitter account. Okay.
Look, like I said, I can have a bad day. We have those in life. But I can now go to his Twitter page, and my day is all of a sudden better.
All right, hold up. You're good. For anybody who tells me that Twitter is a moral compass, you are full of shit. You have a literal murderer having its own Twitter account. OJ, we know what happened already. He already halfway admitted it in the book he wrote.
Of course he did,
man. Twitter fucking sucks. I'm sorry, Frank, for interrupting you, but I
understand. We're having back and forth conversation in this case. Trust me, it's not like other people. I'm not going to mention who, but we're having back and forth conversation. Don't like about us. But the point is, okay. I'll give you an example. YouTube. I'm only here for the comments. 2 weeks ago, the Blues won the Stanley Cup, right?
Right.
Game 7.
Yeah.
Do you know the biggest craze with the Blues this in their run has been the 1982 song "Gloria" by Laura Brimington? It has been. Just look it up. It has been. It has been. And I was watching some of these Blues playoff games down the stretch, and they were playing "Gloria," and I'm thinking, why are you playing this song? What does it have to do? Well, sure, that's a whole story within itself, but that's been their rallying cry. Immediately within a few hours after the Blues won the Stanley Cup, I went on YouTube to try to find the song "Gloria." And all of the comments, well, not all, but about 90% of the comments were congratulations, St. Louis Blues Stanley Cup champions.
Right.
And then the next day, when the Raptors won the NBA title, I typed in the Canadian national anthem on YouTube. And some of the comments were directed to congratulate Raptors on the Stanley Cup. Honestly, when it comes to YouTube or Twitter, I will just go for the comments. No joke.
Oh man, like the first thing, like he does his video is like there's going to be repercussions for people putting my name in a bad light or whatever, right? He's like talking about the people in the media putting bad headlines about him, and then he recorded another video a week after talking about how Khloe Kardashian is not his daughter, and like, come on, man.
I just, it's funny. Like I said, I mean, look, whatever you interpret as funny is one thing, but these these comments on Twitter are absolutely, positively, 100% hysterical for the most part.
And no, it's some grade A homogenized Holstein buttercup bullshit. That's
look, the guy. Okay, yesterday or 2 days ago was the 10th anniversary of Michael Jackson's death.
Yeah.
He had a video in which he paid tribute to Michael Jackson. It was on the golf course. Yeah. And it was titled "Rest in Peace, Michael." And the comments here are, well, let me see if I can find some hilarious comment here. Okay. Oh yeah. Here's one. OJ, sign my knife.
Oh wow.
Okay, OJ, sign my knife. Okay, let me find one more comment here, please. Let me find one more comment that's hilarious.
Yeah.
No, that's not it. Oh, okay, here it is. The Juice's favorite Jacko song was Killer. You get it? Thriller? It was Killer.
Oh, God.
Honestly, these I got to tell you this.
Stop the pain. Please.
Okay, I'm just saying, if I have a bad, let's say, you know how I am about this. We are about this. Yes. If I'm having a bad day, but maybe use the word "if" here. If I'm having a bad day, I'm going to OJ's Twitter account and brighten my day up.
Oh, God. Oh, wow. I don't even know what to say to that right now, to be honest. All right. Browning, you're up next. I know you said you wanted to do the rant after Frank, so go ahead, buddy.
This happened after the Iron Pay-Per-View debut for Sunday night.
Hold up. I got a question for you. Every time you do a rant, it's either promoting PTW. That's not a rant. Right, Frank? That's not a rant if you're promoting something.
Well, actually, he can say whatever he wants now.
No, I know he could. I'm just pointing it out. It's a rant, not promotion time.
Well, at least he's not giving free advertisement. There's a difference between promotion and advertisement.
Go ahead, Browning. Go ahead.
Ricky Cardinal lost the PTW championship for Sunday night in Hollywood. Adam Swayze won it for Sunday night, and he freaking sucks.
Is that a relation to Patrick Swayze?
Yeah. It's more like that, really. It's more like Hollywood to me, though, but he sucks anyway, even though he's a PTW champion.
Yep. Does that bother you that he is the PTW champion?
Yep.
Did he try to hit any of the wrestlers this week?
No.
Dude, this ain't old ECW glory hump.
Mm-hmm. Browning, I'm curious, where do you usually sit by towards the ring when he goes to these wrestling shows? Are you in the front row? Or are you behind the
front row?
Front row? Okay.
Wow, dude, you got awesome seats.
Yeah.
You like to shake a lot of wrestlers' hands and stuff?
Yeah, I take pictures with them a lot, so.
Mm-hmm. You seen any famous people recently?
Not really.
No famous wrestlers.
No.
Oh,
I need to show y'all something.
All right, go ahead. You know who I saw at the airport Tuesday, Frank?
You saw a lot of people there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, you saw a lot of people. Maybe some service dogs. Who'd you see? I don't know.
I saw Tony Chimble.
Wait, former WCW announcer? No, former ring announcer. No, it's Tony Schiavone.
No, come on. No, Tony Chimble, the guy who would like rated R Superstar.
Oh yeah. That's when you saw the ring announcer from from.
Yep, I saw him and Matt Hardy.
Oh wait, how's Matt Hardy looking these days?
He's doing all right for himself.
I gotta say, during the Attitude Era, I wasn't a big Hardy Boys fan. I admired their stunts and all that stuff, but I wasn't a big Hardy Boys fan for some reason.
Well, that's unfortunate. And then,
but wait, you know what? I liked heels. When during the Attitude Era, Jeff and Matt were never a heel.
Right. Let's see. Do I have an opening rant in me?
I don't know. Do you?
Do I have something I want to get off my chest?
Had a good vacation.
Yeah, I had a really good vacation.
As you should.
Yeah. I'm excited for my next one in Pittsburgh in October. Going to see my brother who I do my podcast with.
Nice.
So we're going to watch the Bears-Raiders game together.
That's in London, right? The London game.
I on the preference to say that period sounds weird. Oh, why would you go to Pittsburgh to watch a football game with a Raider fan? Well, Adam, while he was born in Pennsylvania, he is a Raiders fan. So that's how it works. All
nice.
right.
Nice. Enjoy your trip. My dad and I are going to Cincinnati, and the Cubs are going to Cincinnati this weekend, but we're going in early August for the Saturday and Sunday game. Cubs Reds.
I know what I want to rant about. So there's been a lot of conversation about the interview that Tariq Cohen had with Adam Shine from CBS and Mad Dog Sports Radio. He came out last week and talked about Matt Nagy has showed the team a lot about what happened specifically with the Eagles playoff game and the double doink. And I think the local radio stations here have been kind of overplaying that and making it more than what it is. Tariq said in the conversation that Matt has showed them on a couple occasions the double doink just to remind them of the hurt and understand and have the proper motivation to never have that feeling again.
That's good.
Matt did this when they lost to the Packers week 1 last season. And we saw what happened later on when they came here to Chicago, right? I think Tom Waddle needs to get over himself, to be honest with you. I respect him as a broadcaster and what he did as a Chicago Bear, and I think Tom is a good person, but there's certain cases where he needs to get over himself, and he is like, okay, it's fine you're showing them the clip of the double doink, but I think it would also be paramount to show them that the offense didn't do much, and the defense gave up the touchdown before the double doink happened. Did anything that Mitch Trubisky do in that game, especially the fourth, did what Mitch Trubisky did in the fourth quarter just went completely over your head? Like, was there a different quarterback that was leading the Bears down that drive?
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
There was a different quarterback leading the Bears this year in general. I'm going to say this about Trubisky, and I noticed that in the preseason, not last year, but the year before. This guy has good fundamental mechanics, and you need that as a quarterback. The past Bear quarterbacks have not been fundamentally sound, and Trubisky loves this game. He has a strong desire for it. I'll say this. I am convinced that the Bears have their quarterback of the future.
Here's my issue. Okay, the offense didn't score a lot of points. Guess what? The Eagles didn't score a lot of points either in that first half. So it's a defensive game. So, I don't get where Waddle's coming from with that. So, because the double doink happened, that erases everything that Mitch Trubisky did in that second half. Bullshit. Who had the lead before the Golden State touchdown? Who had the lead? Who was winning the game before that last touchdown? We were. But he forgets about that. I get it. I get it now. You're a broadcaster and you're trying to fit in, and you're trying to fit in that negative cesspool that Sylvie and Carmen DeFalco and all the common sports broadcasters have, where it's always glass half empty first before glass half full. I understand it. I understand how the business works. I don't agree with it. I think it's better to have authentic conversations that speak from the heart on air than just saying something to get a rise out of people.
Right.
Does that make me a bad broadcaster because I think positive first before negative? I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, it was a great Bears season. I'm going to say this to people: it happened, and it was disappointing. But I want Bears fans to look at the positive nature of the 2018 season. His team had a first-year head coach, a first-year quarterback in Trubisky, first full year with Trubisky. We didn't see in 2017 Trubisky only came on half the season.
Yeah,
we had the Khalil Mack came on. There was improvement with this team that I didn't expect, honestly, because I've said this before and I'll say it again. I said if the Bears could go 8-8, 8 wins, 8 losses, it's not going to get you in the playoffs. I understand that, but the Bears can go 8-8. That's worth celebrating within itself. The playoff loss against the Eagles stink. The missed field goal, it stunk. But I hope that with some of the passage of time, us Bears fans can look at the positive nature of all of this and realize that this team accomplished so much. Matt Nagy was the AP Coach of the Year, deservingly so. And I'm going to say this about training camp. When you were talking about training camp starting in a month, this training camp, Glory Hump, heading into Bourbonnais, is going to be one of the most anticipated Bears training camps in recent memory, because over the last few years, there hasn't been the type of anticipation that we're seeing for a Bears season as we're going to see in 2019. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I'll be honest. I'm always excited about training camp, even when the Bears 5 years ago stunk up the joint. But this year in particular, there's a ton of excitement around this team this year, and why not? There should be. They got offensive leader Trubisky, defensive leader Mack. They got playmakers. They got a coach that finally knows what he's doing.
Right.
It's gonna be fun. Enjoy it. Super Bowl. I believe Super Bowl. I can't see why not. Chicago Bears in Super Bowl. Yes, I believe it's happening, barring injuries.
All right. Let's catch up, everybody. What's going on with baseball? Cubs had a rough one yesterday against the Atlanta Braves. It seems like anytime Darvish starts getting on a roll, he has a game like last night. And
that's not, dude.
Let me say this. I think Wilson Contreras needs to. That's another person that needs to get over himself. I like him as a player, but you talking ish and doing all this extra stuff after you hit a measly home run, shut the fuck up. Know your role, dude. like I get it. You're excited. You hit a home run, but you're gonna cry like a baby because you didn't get one pitch before the home run, and then you're gonna throw a hissy fit around the base talking all this shit. You're not all that, dude. You're not the best catcher in baseball. You're very good.
I think defensively he is. I would take Wilson Contreras defensively as the best catcher in baseball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just think he needs to tame it down a little bit.
They all do. Look, that's youth and immaturity. It's like Tim Anderson. We remember what happened. We recall what happened against Kansas City. I'm telling you, I agree that what happened on Contreras' part was wrong. He should have let it go. But that's what you have to have in a manager. And from the White Sox standpoint, I think that's where Ricky Renteria comes in huge. Because with what happened with Tim Anderson, shame on him. But I think the guy has learned his lesson since the Kansas City series. You can't be doing that. You can't be showing off. I think bat flipping is utterly ridiculous. You shouldn't be showboating like that. But with the young and immaturity of a ball player, that's where having a manager that's going to kick you in the butt will help.
Yeah. Excuse me. How about me?
Mamma mia, pasta pia.
Clear my throat. All right. White Sox. I know they've been 2-4 on their road trip so far with the Rangers and Red Sox. It was nice to steal that victory.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Especially at the expense of Chris Sale. So,
yeah.
I know that didn't make Sean happy whatsoever.
Chris Sale ruined my night 3 years ago.
You know what? Sean sent me a couple clips he wanted me to play on the show for you guys.
Oh, jeez. You know what? I enjoy when we do the show about Sean. I really do.
All right. Let's play this. Let's see how this goes.
Oh, boy.
Good game there, buddy. I'm glad the Red Sox won. Although I'm sorry about the way I was yesterday. I really thought you were going to beat us, Josh. I really did because because I just haven't liked the way we played. But good game. I'm glad we won tonight. I just want to be a good sport. And, of course, I was already being a good sport anyway. I know I was being realistic. I wasn't setting myself up and jinxing it for your team, but understand that. I just haven't liked the way the Red Sox have played this year. I mean, I'm glad we're 44-37, not even, far away from the American League East division. But anyway, it's not the end of the world. I mean, it could have gone either way tonight. And, of course, I'm glad we won both games. Hopefully we'll get the sweep and stuff, too. But I'll be a good sport, Josh, and just say good game. Even if we would have lost, I would have said good game anyway. So, anyway, I wanted to let you know, too, but I will not be able to make it to the show this week.
Woohoo! Thank you. We can have back and forth conversation, actually have a real show.
All right.
I admire that. It wouldn't be a good sport. It's just a game. My goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then,
I forgot to say this last week, but here's Jason Benetti's home run call for Eloy when he won the game for the Sox.
he faked the Cubs, dude.
Cold, yeah.
You know what? I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah, you know what? That's a fan right there. That's a fan of the White Sox. And I admire broadcasters. That's why I admire Hawk a lot, because he was a fan.
y'all ready to see it now?
By the way, I think I got to do better now. By the way, I've returned the flunking Sox now.
Return of the Mac once again. You ever heard that song before, Frank?
Wait, which song is it, dude?
Return of the Mac.
Probably. Maybe in ages.
It's a good song.
I'm trying to think. There was a good song I heard. Oh, well, there's a lot of songs.
Here's a good song. Don't Cry by Guns N' Roses.
Oh, my goodness. You're talking about Glow. Okay. When they were on top of the world, Guns N' Roses, I was in first grade. We're talking about 1988. No, really, Guns N' Roses. I was a little guy when Guns N' Roses was on top of the world back in 87, 88.
You know, my favorite part of that song is the solo leading into that next verse. If you hear the solo from Don't Cry going into that next verse, it's one of the best transitions in any rock song I heard.
Do you know what one of my favorite Guns N' Roses songs in years past has become? And it came out in 1989. It came out in the spring of 1989. And I know Guns N' Roses, you think of hard rock, but I actually like Patience by Guns N' Roses because that mellows out Axl. Don't you get the sense that that Axl is a mellow guy?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite songs to play on the guitar, by the way.
I looked it up. Patience? Okay, let me look it up because I like to go rock on the net. Patience? I'll look it up quickly. Guns N' Roses. Oh, that's awesome. Awesome.
Hey, Josh.
What's up, Ronnie? What do you got?
See it now.
Oh, how about that? That's pretty cool.
See the autograph?
Yeah.
Okay, Patience. I'm looking up Patience.
Like that,
April 29th, 1989. Patience was at 23 on the rock chart. Let me go to a couple weeks later, April 13th, 1989. Patience went up to number 8.
Man.
So you go back to 1989. By the way, what happened to music? What happened to good music? Whoa. You got Mr. S's autograph?
You got another one?
Yeah.
Wait, you got Mr. S's autograph?
I'm a nasty man.
Yeah.
By the way, in a way, doesn't that song? There's one lyric of his song of his entrance music that sounds queer.
Sorry, that's just me doing them.
I'm a nice man. Well, I'm taking a look at April 13th, 1989. You actually had some good songs. What happened to music? May I ask? We actually had some good songs back then.
And I got cornets, too.
Oh, you do? Oh, you got Jim Cornette? Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. We're about to wrap it up in a couple seconds. I got some breaking news to bring up.
Yeah, I think I know where you're going at, Boy Hum.
This is our final topic for today. So SI reported this morning that Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff are taking executive director roles as far as running Raw and SmackDown.
Right.
Before anybody goes nuts, I think it's important to let everybody know that these are positions that they're basically Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff are going to report directly to Vince. Obviously, Vince is going to put a lot of time into the XFL because it's coming out after the Super Bowl this year. So the XFL is actually starting after the Super Bowl in Miami this year, Frank. So I think they're starting and ready to build into that transition. There's going to be a lot of changes with WWE, and they got they're making this switch from having SmackDown on USA. SmackDown's going to be
it's going to big network now. It's going back over the air.
SmackDown's going to be on Fox on primetime television on Friday nights. It's getting me very excited, especially for Survivor Series weekend. I'm going to all 4 shows, by the way, guys.
Nice.
I'm going to see my first War Games match.
Nice.
I'm going to the SmackDown the Friday show, Survivor Series, and Raw. So
you're a man.
I'm very excited for it. Money well spent. I gotta say this. This is very important for people like my age.
Sure.
And to understand that, when you get to a point where you can start buying stuff for yourself and not having to rely on your parents and this and that, just like how I paid for this trip I just went on. It's a good feeling. Frank, I think
absolutely.
I think you could attest to that when you start doing that. You know.
Yeah, I make my own. Listen, going up, I make my own money. I invest wisely.
You make your own decisions.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I make my own decisions. Listen, it's not like I have a criminal record here, believe it or not. Hey, Glenn, but there's one question I do want to ask you about the XFL, though. If I may, just one question. What do you think of Chicago not having a team? Because remember, the first go around it did have a team, and I recall that very well because the Enforcers played at Soldier Field. Well, what do you think of Chicago not having a team this time around? I was surprised.
Man, I'm not sure. What do you think?
I was surprised. I was shocked. Honestly, I was shocked because I'll say this. Los Angeles is not a good sports city. They got 2 NFL teams. I only think they deserve one, yet they have an XFL team. So the fact is that Los Angeles has an XFL team and not Chicago. That doesn't sound right. Look, if you're not going to bring one to Chicago, that's fine. But don't bring one to Los Angeles. They don't deserve it. If anything, San Diego should have one. Then again, San Diego should have the Chargers still.
All right. What do you guys think about this? Paul Heyman taking over Monday Night Raw and Eric Bischoff taking over SmackDown. What do you guys think about it?
Who goes first? I guess, yeah.
Go ahead. Anybody can go first.
Okay, Brian, you want to go first?
It's pretty neat, I guess, to me, though. More truly, it's pretty neat, though.
Yeah, I agree. But I'll say it's cool. And let me say this. Here's two guys that have done very well in the world of pro wrestling. As far as Paul Heyman, the concept with ECW was awesome. The fact with Heyman is he did not have a business. He wasn't a good businessman. Heyman, good promoter, good concept, bad businessman. That's why ECW was low budget. But then again, I actually kind of like the low budget feel with the type of wrestling they gave us. So I'm looking. So I think so. It's going to be interesting. He's been there before. Bischoff also has been a success. The problem with Bischoff toward the end, why WCW failed, it wasn't Eric Bischoff's fault. It was Time Warner. I saw an interview. I heard an interview on Ric Flair's podcast not too long ago, in which Eric Bischoff talked about the AOL Time Warner merger in 1998, and this was the merger that. Then Ted Turner did not lose everything, but he lost a good deal of his billions as a result of this merger. AOL Time Warner killed WCW. Okay, Eric Bischoff did all that he could, and I admire Eric Bischoff greatly for what he's done in pro wrestling. So you got two guys that have been successful here. Should see what happens. I can't wait for it to begin. Should be interesting to see what happens.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Brian, how do you feel about it? Are you excited about Paul Heyman taking over Raw and stuff?
Yeah. My client.
No. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Heyman's Raw. I'm just thinking about the draft where as you know, it's kind of odd that Bischoff and Raw were part of the first expansion draft.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Heyman's SmackDown.
And then
what?
All right, one more thing before we head out for the show this week. I was gonna say,
what were you gonna say, dude?
How did any of you guys see Stomping Grounds on Sunday?
Not much. I was following it. I didn't see it live. I was sleeping.
Did you watch Raw, Frank?
No, I was sleeping through it too. I had to work.
Damn, all the sleeping.
I don't sleep much during the day.
Browning, how did you feel about The Undertaker coming out on Monday? I didn't see that.
I didn't even watch the Cubs, dude.
I was out of my chair when that Undertaker came out. Not really, but
there was no reports or anything. Don't see anything. Like he just popped up and choked like Shane McMahon.
Shane was like,
oh shit. You know, one of my favorite things. What the hell is that?
What was that?
No, I actually hit something. Just a reminder.
Are you at Wrigley Field?
I like carnival music.
We're gonna get you there again, dude, with my dad.
Yeah.
You remember my dad? You recall my dad?
Yeah. Just let me know and I'll show up, okay? Let me know when I'll come. All right, Frank.
Sure.
You say sure.
Well, what do you want me to say? All right. What do you want me to say, dude? I'm just giving you.
I can't hear your audio. That's why I wasn't.
Oh,
sure.
You can't?
I hear you now. All right, now it's better.
Hear me now.
Hear you now.
Is that like a commercial, dude? Can you hear me now?
And then.
Say what?
What?
All right. Let's get to the spoken word, shall we, boys?
Why not?
Nice.
Right, good.
Spoken Word is a good show. Was in and then.
Yeah.
But anyway.
What?
Good show. And shout again, my boy Chucky's in the Mr. South Jersey Salvador Green sucks and he lost Sunday.
Yeah, ain't that a trip? What up, Chuck E. Cheese? Smooth.
What up, Chuck E. Cheese?
Oh, there we go.
I remember.
Yeah. Well, the only difference is Chuck E. Cheese Smooth doesn't like strudel.
Oh.
That's a good point. Frank, go ahead. What's your spoken word?
Yeah, like I said, if you wake up every morning, consider yourself to have one pretty darn good life. My spoken word today, as always, God's blessings, one and all.
My spoken word today goes like this. First off, be the authentic product that is yourself.
Love it.
Yep.
It's important.
Right?
Of course.
And always remember, I know sometimes when people go through issues where they've done drugs or they've done this or that, or maybe they just feel depressed about something.
Right.
Understand that not every single person that comes into your life has an agenda to bring you down. Understand when somebody is there to help you feel better about yourself and make your life better. I wouldn't say fully accept it, but understand it and appreciate that. Because it's rare to have people that care about you even when you're at the lowest parts of your life. And I think it's very important to understand that.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, exactly.
All right, so that's what I spoke word today.
We need help to get by in this world. We need help, Chloe Hunt.
We all need help, and I always been there to help people that have been special to my life, just like you guys.
Yeah, really.
And we thank you guys so much for enjoying the show today. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I know I put the title of the show NBA Free Agency, but honestly, the NBA sucks. So this is
you don't have to remind me. Oh my goodness.
NBA Free Agency starts coming up this Sunday.
Hey, Chloe up. Where's the trombone? Where's the trombone? These people want to go align with teams and make the NBA disinteresting and not play defense. Who cares?
By the way, YouTube, why are you getting rid of Hangouts later on this year? How the hell are we going to record a show?
Oh, what?
Oh, wait. I didn't know about that. Honestly, I didn't hear about that.
I didn't know either.
Yeah, what's going on in the world of
I keep getting notifications. The classic Hangouts on air are going to go away later on.
That's our fault. That's all. Hey, you know what? Our show did that. You know, I think our show did that.
Oh, God. All right, for the Big Bag of Win and the Brownie Master on the Glue Home, Josh Lopez, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel to get all editions of the Sports Drive, the only place you can get the Sports Drive. And also, don't forget, we have the Hoots podcast you can get right now on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and Google Play for your Android users out there. So, like I said, enjoy your weekend, everybody. We'll be back here for another show for Sports Drive. Love you guys. Peace, love, and understanding. Talk to you guys.
You my line.
And then
What?
What?